This is the Louie Tee Network.
I'm ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
Overtime! And we head to overtime.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to Monday Night Football Overtime. Chicago Bears looked like a train wreck tonight versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Young Carson Wentz goes 2-0, and I have a lot to say about that. And we'll break this game down. Eagles get the victory, go to 2-0, and sit atop the NFC East along with the New York Giants at 2-0 with a 29-14 victory on Monday Night Football. Breakdown and analysis to come. But first, if this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. And subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more content throughout the 2016 season and beyond, as I'm breaking down every single game in the National Football League, as I always do here on the Louie Tee Network. So subscribe to the Louie Tee Network on YouTube. Also, follow me on Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Also, I'm on Facebook. Give me the thumbs up. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. So if you're on the chat discussion or you're on Twitter by chance and you're watching this, use the hashtag LouieTLive to have your comment read during the Wrap It Up segment so that we can converse and you can have your voice heard here on this program, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Us talking about the game we love, the National Football League. And so let's get to Monday Night Football and let's jump knee deep into this win by the Eagles 29-14 over the Bears on Monday Night Football with a segment I like to call Likes, Dislikes, Banana in the Tailpipe. Like, dislike, banana in the tailpipe.
What y'all, the second team?
We're the first team.
Yeah, we're not gonna fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
So let's get to the likes, dislikes, and the banana in the tailpipe in this ball game. First things first, let's get to the likes for the Philadelphia Eagles in the first half. Carson Wentz, how could he not be on your likes list? Guy played with tremendous poise, and I was actually surprised the Eagles came out and just said, all right, Carson, we're going to take the shackles off of you, and we're just going to cut you loose in this game. Maybe because it was the Bears, maybe because it was Monday night and it was a showcase for the whole world to see. I don't know what it was, but this offense didn't look like it did in week one, where they kind of coddled him. A lot of safe, easy throws, a lot of running the football. They cut him loose this game. He threw it 34 times. They gave him an opportunity to do some things, and there was some different looks in this football game, and I thought he handled them well. When they put pressure on him, they lit him up. He took some shots, and he stared down the gun barrel and delivered the football. He's making checks and changes at the line of scrimmage. He's lining guys up. He's making proper calls, setting the line protections. Look, I talked about Carson Wentz in this draft and how I thought he was the best quarterback in this draft class. Didn't think he was ready to play in his rookie season. It looks like I was wrong, but didn't know the Eagles were going to tailor their offense to what this guy does well in his rookie season. I couldn't tell you about the man's intellect. I couldn't tell you how smart he was on a whiteboard or any of that stuff. I don't know the guy personally, but from all indications, this guy is a freak in terms of his knowledge of the game. He's a student of the game, and he's a guy that you can sit on the whiteboard and have him draw up and diagram plays and tell you exactly what this guy, that guy, and that guy is supposed to do. And you can see it out on the field because it translates. This guy knows exactly where he's supposed to go with the football. Free rusher off the edge. Okay, I'm going right where he came from, and I'm going to hit this slant as a hot read. You can see he's making these types of reads on the go, on the fly, as things are happening right before his very eyes. And so very impressed with Carson Wentz in week 2 versus the Chicago Bears. Was impressed with him last week against the Browns, but I haven't been impressed with his competition. Until he plays any level of competition, I'm going to continue to have my reservations about how good he is this soon in his career, but definitely see the potential in this kid after the first 2 weeks of the season. Caleb Sturgis, 3 of 3 in the first half, including a 53-yarder to send the Eagles to the halftime break with a 9-7 lead. Again, I didn't know how many points were going to be scored in this game. It didn't look like it was going to be a high-scoring affair at one point in the third quarter. And then the Eagles just turned on that faucet, that turnover faucet, and the Bears just started pumping them out. And the Eagles started depositing them into the end zone for touchdowns. So you didn't know at the time that those field goals weren't going to mean much in the outcome of this game. Got to knock them home anytime you get an opportunity. Caleb Sturgis did that early in this ball game. You go to the Bears first half likes. Alshon Jeffrey, never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. You know the rules to the game to play. Alshon Jeffrey, huge play down the field. If Cutler wasn't under duress, probably would have been a touchdown. He beat the rookie corner out there mercilessly. Jalen Mills, he bit that double move, hook, line, and sinker, and had a beeline to the end zone if not for pressure that forced Jay Cutler to underthrow the football. Nice night for Alshon Jeffrey. Again, I don't trust him. He's got 2 first names, but the guy continues to get it done. Physicality of the Bears defense. In that first half, they were hitting. And I talked about it in the preseason. This is a Bears defense that will hit you in the mouth. That's a staple of any John Fox coach football team. They're going to be physical. They may not win, but they're going to be physical. And that's what you can expect from the Bears each and every single week. They're probably not going to win because they don't have a very good football team, but they're going to hit you in your mouth. And if you're not careful and you let them hit you enough, it's going to affect you, and you could find yourself in a tough spot at the end of the football game. But the physicality of this defense was a like of mine in this game. I thought they were physical. They hit Carson Wentz. They made him pay when he decided that he was He-Man and was going to take flight and he was going to run and not get out of bounds and not slide and give himself up. They made him pay for that, and that's what he'll learn sooner or later in this league, is that your team needs you. The importance with which you have in the actual duty that you have to your team is more important than you going out and making an individual play. And at some point, he'll figure that out. You know, with all the rookies, you see the same exact thing. You saw it with Robert Griffin III, and he thought he could defy gravity, and he thought he could do this, he thought he could do that, until he got a concussion, and then got lit up a couple of times and realized, damn, I need to stop this. You saw the same thing with Andrew Luck last year. He missed damn near half the season because of his theatrics, and he said in the offseason, hey, I got to be smarter. My team needs me. I'm more important to my team than I thought, and so I got to make sure that I play the game accordingly. The young quarterbacks always come in thinking they're invincible because in college they were running guys over, they were running past guys, running circles around guys. You get to the NFL, everybody's fast, everybody's stronger than you for the most part, especially if you're at the quarterback position. Not many quarterbacks are going to be stronger than any other position on the field, and so especially up against a defender, they're all stronger than you. So if you come out there a little suspect, they're gonna light you up and let you know about it. And you saw that tonight. Carson Wentz got a couple of lessons he's got to learn. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But the guy was very impressive. But the point of that was the Bears were physical in this football game. Let's get to the dislikes for the first half for both teams. You go to the Eagles. The big play to Alshon Jeffrey. I talked about Jalen Mills, the rookie, giving up the big play, biting on the double move. It can't happen, but it did. But that's just baptism by fire at the cornerback position. That's what you should expect. A rookie corner going to make a rookie mistake. Hopefully he learned from that and isn't over-aggressive the next time he sees a double move quite like that one. Huge drop by Jordan Matthews right before the half. He's still got the same issues. He's still dropping passes. He's still the same old Jordan Matthews that will make a great catch and in the same breath, in the same game, in the same drive, drop an easy one. And this time it happened to be a touchdown right before the half that really could have gave the Eagles the momentum going into the halftime break. Instead of a 9-7 game, it would have been a 13-7 game. Totally different football game if he catches that pass. But he dropped it like Jordan Matthews is good for at least one time throughout the course of a game. And so can't have that, but he did it anyway, like I just said. For the Bears, first half dislike. Missed field goal by Connor Barth. It was a chip shot field goal. You would have loved to have seen them get in the end zone. They didn't. Had to settle for a field goal. Connor Barth misses. And that's, to me was indicative of what kind of a night it was going to be for the Chicago Bears. You can't make a chip shot field goal early in the ball game. You're probably not going to win the football game, and we saw that in this football game. The Bears weren't good enough. Simply put, they weren't the better team. They proved it as the game went along. They made the mistakes. The Eagles didn't, and they ultimately lost this football game 29-14. Let's go to the lights for the second half. The Eagles forcing turnovers. They forced turnover after turnover after turnover in that second half. It started with a Cutler fumble. Then it matriculated into a Cutler interception. Then it turned into a Jeremy Langford fumble. And they took each and every single one of those turnovers and turned them into points. In most cases, touchdowns. Put this game out of reach. As a wise man once told me, go ahead and put that on the top shelf so the little kids don't get to it, man. They put this game out of the reach of the Chicago Bears. They were the little kids looking to get the goodies on the top shelf. Eagles said, nah, this isn't for you. Let me put this on the top shelf. You don't know what to do with this win. Let me put this up here on the top shelf, man, so you can't get to it. And they put this game out of reach where it belonged. The Bears aren't a good football team. Also, on the second half lights, scoring off those turnovers, I kind of mentioned that already, but let me reiterate that. We see teams get turnovers and force turnovers all the time, but we don't see them cash them in for points. What good is a check after you work a hard, long week worth of work and they give you your, what good is that check if you can't go and cash it and get your money from it? That's essentially what getting a turnover is like. Working an entire week, they give you the check and they say, hey, don't cash that, though. Don't cash that, though. There's no cash value with this check. Just paper with numbers on it. You don't get any money from that. That's what a turnover is. If you don't take that turnover and take that to the bank and get your cash value for that, what good is a damn turnover? Bears turned the football over. Eagles forced those turnovers, took that to the bank, got cash value for it in the form of points, won this football game. Bears in the second half, likes. Let's take the plural off of that. There's no S on that. Like Eddie Royal's 53-yard punt return for a touchdown. Without that, there are no likes in the second half. They were horrible in the second half. Jay Cutler was horrible. Jay Cutler is such a loser. I'll talk about him in a little bit, but they were so bad in the second half that there weren't any likes until Eddie Royal decided to make a magnificent punt return, a highlight reel type punt return, jumps over a guy, zigs and zags, gets down the sideline, jumps over another guy, finds his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It was the last highlight the Bears would have on this night. Let's go to the dislikes for both teams in the second half. I have none for the Eagles. They played damn near flawless football in the second half. They didn't turn it over. They did nothing wrong defensively. All they did was force 3 turnovers defensively. Special teams-wise, they had the one blunder, and that's the only dislike I have is the punt return that they gave up at the end of the ball game when this game was out of reach. The outcome had already been decided, and they punt the football to Eddie Royal right down the middle, and Eddie made them pay. Other than that, there are no dislikes. Eagles give up the punt return is the one dislike I have for them in this game. Let's go to the Bears and their dislikes. Cutler fumble, Cutler interception, Langford fumble, and then all the injuries. Okay, so you got all the turnovers, then you get all the injuries. Cutler went down, Amos went down, Callahan went down, Houston went down, and Goldman got carted off the field at the end. That didn't look good at all. So a bunch of injuries for a team that can't afford injuries, and a bunch of turnovers for a team that can't afford turnovers. What do you know? The Bears lose the football game 29-14. Banana in the tailpipe for the Eagles. I got 2. One is Carson Wentz and his ability to stay healthy. He's out there running around like he's the daredevil. And I'm telling you right now, you don't really figure this stuff out as a rookie until it actually hits you. And my famous saying is, cats don't learn until it's their turn. And Carson Wentz isn't going to learn that he doesn't need to be jumping over guys and flipping over like he did on the sideline where he could have just ran out of bounds. He decides to take a tumble, get cut down by a defender, and then get folded up like an accordion by another defender as he's on the ground. There's another instance where he could have ran out of bounds. He decides, I want to spin. And he takes a shot from one defender, and as he's spinning, here comes Danny Trevathan and says, oh, okay, you want to spin by the sidelines? welcome to the NFL, young fella, and blesses that young man over there by the sidelines. He's going to learn. He already broke a rib. You would have thought that would have woke his ass up. Oh, damn, I broke a rib already. I need to chill. He doesn't give a damn. He's putting his body on the line. He'll figure it out soon enough that that's not a good idea. The second banana in the tailpipe, and so for those of you who didn't get the first one, Carson Wentz staying healthy for the rest of the season. That's my banana in the tailpipe. I don't see it happening. He may play 12 or 13 games. He's going to miss at least 1 or 2 games this season, minimum, because he's going to get injured. He's going to get a concussion. He's going to break something. He's going to do something dumb because he refuses to slide. He refuses to run out of bounds. Something's going to happen to him, and then he'll learn, hopefully, that that's not the way to go about your business as a quarterback in this league. You're no longer at North Dakota State, okay? Get out of bounds or get down, one or the other. Don't take that shot. It's so unnecessary. And the Eagles being this good, they're 2-0, but they played the Browns and the Bears, arguably 2 of the worst teams in the league. I mean, what are we talking about here? Let's not go overboard with this 2-0 start. I got to see more from this Eagles team before I believe that they're any good. I still think that when it's all said and done, we're looking at a 7-win football team max. Maybe 8 if the ball bounces their way. I still don't think this is a 9 or a 10-win team. Let's not get crazy. 7-9, 6-10. I think they'll be somewhere in that wheelhouse when it's all said and done. They've gotten the easy part of their schedule out of the way, okay? When you come in last place, you get a last place schedule. They earn this schedule. I'm not complaining. They earned this schedule. They earned the right to play the Bears. Well, guess what? They got to play the Packers, too. They got to play the Vikings, too. They got to play the Steelers. They got to play the Bengals. Those teams are coming. They played the Browns. They played the Bears. The 2 worst teams in those respective divisions. Good for you. Let's see if they can take care. And you took care of business. That's the most important part. I don't want to poo-poo that. It's so hard to win games in this league. I don't give a damn who you're playing. Get the W. They did that. I just want to see when the level of competition raises, do they raise their game as well in the process? We'll see. For the Bears, I don't have a banana in the tailpipe. They're bad. They showed us that they were bad tonight. Jay Cutler sucks. Okay, he's such a loser. Okay, as a wise man once told me once upon a time, you're one pathetic loser. and this is the part where I say, hey, no offense. And Jay Cutler's supposed to say, none taken. Okay, he's such a loser. I mean, have you ever seen a better loser than Jay Cutler in the National Football League? Jay turns it over. He walks over to the bench. What the hell? If I fumbled, who cares? Can somebody get me a drink? That's what he looks like when he goes back to the bench. But anyway, I digress. That's my likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe for this game. Let's get to where this game was won.
Well, wake her ass up! We're gonna win tomorrow!
Winning. You starting to get the concept now? Oops. Winning.
This game was won in the third quarter when Jay Cutler made the foolish decision to run out of the pocket. Unbeknownst to him, here comes a defensive lineman. Does Jay Cutler think to put the football away? No. Why would I do that? I'm Jay Cutler. I'm in second place for the most fumbles of any quarterback in the league behind Eli Manning by 1. Eli's got 87. I got 86. Why would I put the football away? Are you crazy? Here's a fumble, man. Take this and run with it. That's where this game was won. The minute the Bears decided that it was okay to start turning the football over, that's when this game was officially over and the Eagles were going to run away with this football game, and that they did. We'll move on from where this game was won to wrapping this thing on up and reading some of your comments. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's wrap this Monday night contest up.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
So you've already heard my mouth for the last 20 minutes, so now I want to hear from you guys. Let's see what you have to say. I'll check the comment section quickly to make sure that there's nothing there on Twitter. Obviously, as it generally is, nothing will be there. But again, I'm going to do my due diligence. That's what I do. So I'm going to check first to make sure that there are no comments from you guys in terms of the game tonight, and there isn't. Then I'll go back to my actual Twitter feed, check that out, and see if there's anything there, and there isn't. And then I'll just go to the comment section where you guys are and chat with you guys and see what you have to say. So let's jump into the comment section, see what we have, and then we'll get out of here. We start with Andrew Kim, who says, Bears have to draft a quarterback next year. Cutler's a bum. Agreed. And I basically spent the last 20 minutes reiterating that Cutler stinks. Andrew Kim says, maybe not this year, but once the Eagles get a few weapons for Wentz and improve the secondary, they could be something. They're dangerous. They're going to be a dangerous football team. They've got some talent on their team. Make no mistake about it. And Carson Wentz is the real deal. I think he's going to be just fine. I don't think he's a finished product by any means right now. I don't think he's as far along as, say, a Dak Prescott. But I will tell you this much. Carson Wentz is legit. I told you I thought he was going to be legit when he came into the league. They're doing some good things with him right now, keeping it nice and simple for him. I think he's going to be just fine in this league, but he's got to learn how to get out of bounds. He's got to learn how to slide. He's got to learn how to protect himself. He puts himself in harm's way too often for my liking, and he needs to protect himself better. Bears are bad. This is from Damon Brown. Bears are bad. I really thought their offense would be more explosive with Kevin White. Kevin White looks like he's lost right now. And this is what happens when you get a guy in college that didn't run any routes. He just ran bubble screen left, bubble screen right. And really, the majority of his plays came on the right side of the offense. Bubble screen, tunnel screen, 9 route, a slant. And that's basically all he ran at Kansas. Or not Kansas, excuse me, West Virginia. And so when you get that, just like those Baylor receivers, it's tough, man. And then to make matters worse for him, you get a coaching change, which means you get a playbook change, and he didn't play last year. You add all of those things up, and you got a guy that's lost. He's thinking more than he's out playing. And when you're thinking, it slows you down, and that's why he doesn't look like the explosive receiver that we saw at West Virginia. Damon Brown says, Jordan Matthews is the worst number 1 receiver in the league. I wouldn't go that far, but he does drop the football way too much for my liking. Captain Spartan 04 says, how many yards do you think L.A.B is going to have against the Eagles? Don't know. Don't know. Hard to really say. We'll see what happens when that game comes. Damon Brown says, with the 2017 second overall pick, the Chicago Bears select Deshaun Kaiser. I wouldn't wish that on my man Deshaun Kaiser. I wouldn't. We'll see, though. Bears aren't terrible, but they're not that good either. So I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do. They definitely need a quarterback, though. I would agree with that, as you guys have eloquently put it on this program. Let's see if there are any more comments. I don't see any more comments. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Bears fall to the Philadelphia Eagles at home 29-14. Carson Wentz continues his tear early in the season. Throws another touchdown pass. They run for a couple more in this football game. Put the Bears out of their misery basically in the third quarter when the Bears decided it was okay to start putting the football down on the carpet and turning it over. Cutler leaves the game with an injury, but not before he was able to turn it over twice and give the Eagles a head start on putting this game away. Eagles do some really good things defensively. Carson Wentz looks smooth out there on the football field. They get it done 29-14. The Bears continue to struggle. And guess what? Now you got Billy Ho in the game. It doesn't get much better for you if you're the Chicago Bears. At least when you had Jimmy Clausen, you could say, all right, we got Jimmy Clausen in the game. Let's see what Jimmy can do. Now you got Billy Ho in the game, and we know what Billy Ho's up to. So it's a really tough situation if you're a Bears fan right now. Tough times in Chicago. That's for sure. But in any event, that's going to do it for me tonight here on Monday Night Overtime. Week 2 is complete. I've broken down every single game in Week 2 in the National Football League, including the Monday Night Football tilt. Eagles, once again, get it done 29-14. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Got one more comment, and we will leave with this one from Damon Brown. Brian Hoyer to start if Cutler is injured, like they think he might be, and he's had hand problems in the past, then yes, Brian Hoyer to start. Good luck with that, Bears fans. You're going to need it. And with that, I'm signing off. I'm your man, Louie T. Remember, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. See you on Wednesday for Louie Tee Live. Have a good one.
Broncos won the Super Bowl when Peyton Manning retired. 49ers won 5 games and Tom Sula got fired.